5 on your side at 10 starts now.
It was a beautiful day across our region. Sunny skies, high temperatures in the low 60s. But our next weather maker is on deck. Going to bring some rain back to the region this weekend. I'll detail that out in your forecast coming up.
A motel makeover.
I wanted to leave something where another kid never feels what I felt.
The former North City trouble spot turning into a safe haven for survivors of domestic abuse and the May 16th tornado. Our top story, growing community outrage as more St. Louis children fall victim to gunfire.
It keeps happening, and we know that these blocks are filled with violence.
Tonight, 2 toddlers are recovering following 2 separate incidents involving guns in North St. Louis. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. Police say one father accidentally shot his child. The other got hold of an unsecured gun. New at 10, 5 on your side's Robert Townsend talked with concerned parents and an activist who says enough is enough.
Drive around this North St. Louis area and you'll see plenty of signs pleading for peace over violence. But some concerned citizens and anti-crime advocates say those pleas are
falling on deaf ears.
It just needs to be more supervision out here.
People are outraged after learning 2 innocent children suffered gunshot wounds during 2 separate incidents in less than 24 hours in North City. Police say security video shows shortly after 7 Wednesday night, the parents of a 1-year-old and another group shot at each other while at a gas station on MLK Drive. Police say the violence continued on Clara Avenue, where they say Cameron Jefferson fired from inside a car, hitting his own son in his foot. The parents drove their wounded child to a hospital.
There is no excuse for parents to be in a rolling gun battle with their children.
About 18 hours later, a gunshot rang out inside an apartment at this complex near Selber Court and Goodfellow. It's here police say a 3-year-old boy accidentally shot himself in his hip after getting his hands on an unsecured gun.
The adult was cleaning out a closet, left the gun unattended. The child got a hold of it.
I just feel like if kids are around, baby, keep them guns to yourself. Like, keep it put up, baby, it's gun locked.
The 2 child-related shootings have angered one St. Louis community activist. For the past 3 years, Precious Jones says she and her team have pleaded for an end to gun violence and more gun safety.
I know that it can be prevented. The first solution is recognizing that there is an issue. We need more community members and leaders to get involved.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Prosecutors charged that father, Cameron Jefferson Sr., with endangering the welfare of a child. Police are still investigating both incidents. Right now, St. Louis homicide detectives are investigating the death of a woman in North City. The woman was found dead at about 2.5 hours ago on St. Louis Avenue near Sarah Street. That is in the Ville neighborhood. Police have not released any more details.
Tonight, we're working on getting more information on some breaking news we brought you last night at 10. The St. Louis County Library, Lewis and Clark branch, is closed until further notice as police continue to investigate a shooting. A library spokesperson tells 5 on your side that gunfire last night happened near the branch. None of its workers were harmed. Now, we've called Moline Acres Police several times today to try and get information on injuries or what led up to the shooting. We are still waiting to hear back.
Now your weather impact forecast. Another chilly October night in the bi-state. Meteorologist Lance Blocker's here to tell us what areas will be under another frost advisory overnight. Lance.
Yeah, we've got those in from the National Weather Service. This is the type of advisory they issue, of course, just for this time of year as we transition from the fall season where it's warmer, the growing season during the summertime, into the winter season, of course, now with the cooler temperatures arriving. Our Illinois counties from Greene County east to Clay County, west to Washington counties, and then one lone Missouri county here, Perry County, under a frost advisory. Just advising folks the temperature is going to get cold into the low 30s overnight, so be sure to protect your plants, pipes, and pets as we move through the evening and overnight hours. Tomorrow morning, it'll be chilly as well. Temperatures in the upper 30s to lower 40s to start out the day. Clouds roll into the region. We'll top out in the low to mid 60s across the area, mid 60s to the south and to the east. Low 60s to the north and to the west. Again, the clouds move into the region. That's in advance of our next weather maker bringing rain to the region this weekend. We'll detail that out coming up here in about 10 minutes.
Scary moments tonight at a Bridgeton church and daycare. A fire broke out just after 5 tonight on the roof of Arlington United Methodist Church. That's on McKelvey Road. Firefighters were able to put the fire out quickly Daycare staff were able to evacuate all the children safely. The pastor says they just completed a fire drill this week.
It was actually one of our daycare kids who saw it at first and then initiated the fire drill and everything else. So fire safety is a good thing.
The fire is under investigation. The roof was undergoing repairs at the time. Firefighters say the flames and smoke did not spread into the church.
Tonight, it appears the man accused of hitting and killing a St. Louis police officer with his car will make a plea deal. The jury trial for Ramon Chavez Rodriguez, which was supposed to start Monday, has been canceled. A plea hearing is now scheduled for next Tuesday. Prosecutors say Rodriguez was drunk when he struck Officer David Lee on I-70 last year. Details of any potential agreement have not yet been released.
Tonight, Illinois gubernatorial candidate Darren Bailey is mourning the loss of his son, daughter-in-law, and 2 grandchildren. All 4 were killed in a helicopter crash in Montana. Bailey's 10-year-old grandson was not on board. In a statement, Bailey called this an unimaginable loss and asked for prayers. The NTSB is investigating.
A legal win tonight for nearly 200 former workers at the old Northview Village nursing home. The facility in North City closed without notice in December 2023, leaving them without pay and more than 100 residents homeless. Court documents show a judge recently awarded them $2 million in a class action lawsuit against the owners of the nursing home.
Tonight, a St. Louis woman's vision to offer shelter for people in need is a step closer to reality.
The community is showing support to assist with donations to aid domestic violence survivors and even recent tornado victims. Our Brent Solomon is just back after touring the Eagle's Nest Project. Brent?
Well, guys, this is really coming full circle. A local businesswoman's plans to give a former motel a makeover with a mission. It's been years in the making. Sometimes just having a will
I'm taking you to one of the finished suites.
opens the door for others to show goodwill.
And let me know what you need when you need it.
When we were in North City speaking with Monique Buchanan about her vision to open up a new shelter called Eagle's Nest, an owner of a local appliance shop showed up with a big assist.
Help her get things started. Refrigerators, stoves, beds, mattresses.
Donations coming in just in the nick of time. We first introduced you to Buchanan in 2023 after she acquired a former motel with a goal to renovate it for those in need.
So this is one of the kitchenettes.
Now you can see the fruit of her labor since then.
It doesn't look like the regular shelter where you just feel doomsday. Everything here is brand new, like the toasters, the ovens.
The goal is to eventually welcome survivors of domestic violence.
I'm trying to teach people a new way of living, new coping skills, new thinking.
As she prepares to open up the doors, more donations will be a lifeline.
We need sheets, towels, toiletries, tissue, and soap.
And the support of other Good Samaritans who want to see those down on their luck get back up again.
Our employees come from this community, so, it means something. Deliver and set up.
Thank you. I wanted to leave something where another kid never feels what I felt.
Right now, Buchanan is working to use that space to also help St. Louis tornado survivors. She's hoping for a grant to help cover the rent for those in need. Today, she had to turn away 6 people because she's still waiting on funding. You can learn more about her efforts at KSDK.com.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. If you are a victim or know someone who may be, you can call the hotline. That number is 800-799-7233. You can also text the word START to 88788.
Developing tonight, a temporary ground stop is in place for Alaska Airlines. A spokesperson says it's because of an IT outage. We checked the flight board at St. Louis Lambert International Airport, which shows the next 2 arrivals at midnight and at 6:30 a.m. are on time. Travelers are urged to check their flight status before heading to the airport.
New developments tonight in the 12-week-long Boeing machinist strike in the St. Louis area. The union now says members will vote on the company's latest contract offer on Sunday. That decision comes 24 hours after the union said it would not hold a vote on what it called an insulting offer.
Winter's coming, and St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer says the city is better prepared following widespread criticism to the city's response to the snowstorm in January. Today, the mayor laid out snow removal plans. It includes 4 new, smaller plows able to navigate hills and smaller streets. The city is also increasing its salt supply.
We have better equipment, we have better protocols, and we have a team that's committed to getting out and being a part of the solution.
Side streets still will not be treated or plowed until intersections are clear.
A symphony of servers powering our lives every day.
The websites, the social media interaction.
Now financial and environmental concerns are causing a data center divide.
All different shapes, sizes, and power consumption.
Tonight, for the first time, 5 on Your Side is taking you inside one of these tech hubs.
We're almost to the weekend, but unfortunately, showers are expected across the area. Coming up next, we'll talk about how the rain could impact your weekend plans ahead.
The explosive growth of data centers on the minds of residents and lawmakers in the St. Louis region. Recently, 2 massive proposed developments were met by protests.
Tonight, 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski takes us inside a data center and investigates what it takes to run one and why they're necessary. Laura?
Mike and Kelly, I ran into several roadblocks when trying to do this story. Nearly every data center company I called either didn't respond or refused to give us a tour, saying that's something they just don't do. To which I responded, well, if you won't let me see it, how do you expect a community to trust you? But TierPoint agreed, so let me take you inside the industry shrouded in secrecy. In this digital age, data has become an extremely valuable resource. Every email sent, video streamed, or online purchase made is powered by data centers. But what do they do there? How does it work? Do data centers affect our resources? The questions are endless, so I went to get answers. TierPoint in Maryland Heights welcomed us in for a tour. CEO Jerry Kent explains the role of a data center.
A data center provides critical back office infrastructure, the websites, the social media interaction, that type of thing. We also provide essential government services. We have E911 in some of our data centers. We provide public safety services for backbone for police, fire, and in some places we provide disaster recovery for a lot of state and local agencies.
Inside the reinforced walls of their data center, they have lots of security measures to protect the data and servers for 26 clients that range from businesses to governmental agencies, including eye recognition, specialized codes, security guards, and multiple doors. And once you get through all of that, you'll find yourself in the data hall that houses all of the data storage devices, servers, and computers. And that sound you just heard is all of those servers working at once and all of the cooling systems working to keep them from overheating. But outside, you can't hear anything but cars driving by on the highway.
We put up walls and or trees and other things to make sure that any sound that does come out doesn't impact surrounding neighborhoods.
At this location, they used air-based cooling from computer room air conditioners pumped up through raised floors to cool down the equipment. In other locations, they use liquid-based cooling. Kent says they've chosen a more environmentally friendly option.
We use a closed loop system. In other words, there's pipes that never have open air touch them, so there's no evaporation. So after the initial use of water, we recirculate it. There's no additional water going back into the environment and no additional water that we need to cool our equipment.
But not all data centers are the same. Researchers estimate in 2023, data centers in the U.S. used 17.5 billion gallons of water. All of this work requires a lot of energy. Here's a room where it happens for TierPoint. In the same year, the Department of Energy says data centers consume more than 4% of the country's electricity, and it's going to keep going up.
Most data centers in the U.S. are not these mega, huge facilities consuming a lot of power. They're more like us, where we have 2.5, 3 megawatts per data center.
One big question is, who pays for the power upgrades if needed? Kent used their new Philadelphia data center as an example.
So then you guys are paying for basically them to build the substation. And is that any at all in turn going to go back to the customer?
We are working with the utility. We are paying for all the essential work and equipment for that substation to get us that 100 megawatts. That will not go to a ratepayer-based user of utility service.
When the power goes out, they have large diesel-fueled generators to keep everything running.
We do store them in tanks underground, but they have multiple layers of protection. I will tell you that we have more layers of protection than would you have in a neighborhood gas station.
According to datacentermap.com, we have 18 different data centers in our area. 13 of them are in St. Louis and have a much smaller footprint, limited to one floor or a part of a building. TierPoint's been around for about 20 years and was even working in AI years ago.
There's all different shapes, sizes, and power consumption. I know people are concerned about these mega gigawatt data centers, but for TierPoint, we have 40 data centers in 20 U.S. markets.
Kent says they do their best to help the local economy, be a good neighbor, and haven't collected any public subsidies on their data centers in St. Louis, including a brand new one downtown.
When we consume power from them, they have to pay tax on that. We collect money from our customers to provide the service. We pay state and local and federal taxes also. So, and that money, stays locally. Locust Street itself, we're committed over $100 million investment to downtown St. Louis.
And I know there are still a lot of concerns about data centers, but I hope this helped you get a better understanding of how they work. The St. Louis Board of Aldermen is still in the process of putting in permanent regulations for new data centers being built in the city and are closely monitoring data center proposals, including the one next to the Armory. I'll keep following this issue.
I know you will, Laura. Thanks. Meteorologist Lance Blocker is here with the weather impact forecast. Another chilly night.
Yep, we got some
heaters on.
It's that time, right?
Yes.
Have y'all turned your heaters up yet?
Yes.
Yes?
I have not.
Not yet?
No, my wife maybe, but I have not yet.
Well, we're getting close to
Holding
that
out,
mark.
Lance.
Yeah, we're getting close to that mark. Once we get into winter time, we'll be talking about winter. The 70s and 80s going to return. All right, temperatures overnight tonight dropping down through the 30s, low to mid 30s off to the east through portions of Illinois. The rest of us here, upper 30s, lower 40s overnight tonight. So we've got those frost advisories in effect. We detailed those out earlier from Greene to Clay to Jefferson County, Perry County, the one Missouri County for us here. All right, this is what else is going on in the sky. Chris sent these pictures in for us here earlier. You can see this is Comet Lemon, and you can see it right there. I think I'm about to zoom in. Here we go. There it goes. That's the comet right there. Maybe you saw it out there tonight. Clear skies across the region. Good viewing conditions for that. We've also got a few meteors going through the atmosphere tonight as well. Clouds move in tomorrow, though, so no view of the sky tomorrow night. We should not see any rain, or at least only a 20% chance of rain for any one given location tomorrow. A little bit better chance as we get the second half of the weekend, though. We stay overcast on Saturday, highs in the low 60s. There we go, 40% chance of rain on Sunday. This is the issue why we're not going to see widespread rain. It's very dry at the surface. At least on Saturday, we won't see that widespread rain. Forecast models want to bring some of that rain in here as early as Friday, really. You can see it overtaking the region, but as we zoom in, the air at the surface is very, very dry, so any water that does fall from the sky, it's going to evaporate before it reaches all the way down to the surface. As we look through Friday and Saturday, this looks like widespread rain. This is highly unlikely at this point. Later in the day, though, some of this atmosphere will begin to get worked over with more moisture, so the rain chances go up Saturday night on and through Sunday. The better chance of rain is Sunday. You can see a lot more moisture with this system now as it rides just south of us and then further east. So this is now through Sunday afternoon. That's why we bumped up the rain chances for Sunday to 40%. Temperatures wise, over the next 5 days, we're going to hover in the low to mid 60s for us here. So relatively cool, right around where we should be for this time of year. Looking out into the future, the Climate Prediction Center has us near average temperatures wise to start out November. To be honest with you, I don't agree with that much. I looked at some of the long-term data. I think we could be in the low 70s for at least the first couple of days of November. That's where things are trending, but we'll go with their forecast for now. I'm kind of overriding it there. All right, over the next 5 days, though, 2 chances of rain, really, primarily at least. One on Sunday, another cold front moves through here on Tuesday, bringing more scattered showers.
All right, Lance, thanks. Corey is in with sports.
Well, the hometown kid continues to terrorize the Blues. There is a playoff team in our town this fall, and I'll introduce you to a unique racing family with some hardware to be proud of. Sports is up after the break.
And it's Throwback Thursday on the 5+ streaming app. Tonight at 10:30, you can catch Channel 5 Eyewitness News 5 on 5 from August 1989. You can watch for free on your Roku, Apple, Fire, Samsung, or LG TV.
To end last season, the Blues looked unbeatable at home. To begin this season, they've been anything but unbeatable. And tonight, the Utah Mammoth added to the note's struggles at Enterprise Center. Monty's been telling his team to start on time all season long. They didn't tonight. Mammoth scored on their very first shot from former Blue Ian Cole, and then Logan Cooley scored a hat trick in the first period to make it 4-0 as Joel Hofer got the early hook and Enterprise Center was stunned. Blues came out with some fire in the second though. Pius Suter scores 4-1 game. Later in the period, Pavel Buchnevich scores in his 600th career game. It's 4-2. This killed some momentum, though. 35 seconds left in the second, and St. Louis area native Clayton Keller scores his 14th career goal against the Blues, 5-2 Mammoth. Keller has more career points against his childhood team than any other team in the league. The Blues attempted to complete their comeback in the third. That was a nifty goal from Oscar Sundqvist to Philip Broberg, but the Mammoth would not give up the lead. Keller added an empty netter as well. Utah wins 7-4 to hand the Blues another tough loss on home ice.
Tonight, our response, was good. I feel like we kept coming back. We showed character tonight. We showed resilience. Now, would have liked to given ourselves an opportunity through our special teams to get a tie or have a pulled goalie where it's 5-4 instead of 6-4.
Well, Clayton Keller may crush his hometown Blues when he plays them. He had 2 goals and an assist tonight. But this February, St. Louisans will likely be rooting for the hometown kid. The Swansea native is a near lock to make the United States Olympic team for Italy. I asked the 27-year-old Mammoth captain about what it would mean to wear the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, it would mean a lot for sure. I've been able to represent my country a couple different times, and it's a great feeling. Something that I don't take for granted, and I'd love to do again. So a lot of work to do, but hopefully I'm part of that team.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
Believe it or not, there is playoff action in St. Louis this fall. St. Louis City 2 hosts Minnesota in the MLS Next Pro League Western Conference semifinals on Sunday. It's been a big boost for City 2 to regain players like Mackay Joyner and Brendan McSorley, who made an impact with the first team this summer.
This is my team, these are all my buddies from the beginning of the year. So, they're also happy for me and what I've been able to do. And I'm also so happy for them in what they've been able to do since I've been gone. And honestly, I miss them a lot. They're a great group of guys. And just happy to go on this playoff run.
Illinois football is back after a bye week. They'll travel to Washington on Saturday. In Brett Bielema's tenure, the Illini are 6-1 following a bye week. As for Coach, he spent this past Saturday on the couch watching games with his daughter and answering plenty of questions.
I got to watch football with Brexley on the couch Saturday, and her question was, did that quarterback know Luke? Because he was playing quarterback, so she automatically thought that. Wanted to know which team. Every time I flipped the channel, she wanted to know which team we were cheering for. She also wanted to know why she had to wear Illinois colors and say Illinois gear on when we're playing in a game, but she wasn't going to play. She didn't understand why she could just wear what she wanted to wear. Just take that up with your mother.
Everybody loves a family vacation, but for one local family, that vacation recently resulted in some racing hardware making the return trip home. The Freshner family loves to ride bikes together. Last month, siblings Neil, Silas, and Abigail competed in the Balance Bike World Championships in Utah, also called the Strider Cup. The competition featured hundreds of kids from around the country and even around the world. 6-year-old Silas finished second in his age group, and 4-year-old Neil finished third. It turns out racing might just run in the family.
There might be a little bit of a racing gene here. My wife and I are both swim coaches, or we were both swim coaches, and strange enough, the kids haven't taken to the water yet. A long day and a lot of people and a lot of strangers and a lot of cameras in their face, and so they were probably a little bit more bashful about it on that day. But now I think they're pretty excited, and they're already talking about next year and wanting to win more trophies next year.
What do you like most about racing?
Going so fast.
I don't think I could sum it up any better.
That's
so cute.
But I love the determination on their faces.
We're
going to remember that forever.
20 years from now, you're going to be interviewing them, going to the Olympics or something. Who knows?
I brought that up. I kind of planted the seed, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, celebrating a decade of Scandinavian designs and meatballs in St. Louis. The big giveaway this weekend at IKEA. NBC is taking you back to Oz just in time for the release of Wicked for Good. Today, the network announced it will air the first Wicked movie on November 19th. That's 2 days before the sequel hits theaters. On November 6th, NBC will air Wicked One Wonderful Night, a 2-hour musical special hosted by the film stars Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. You can watch both right here on 5 on your side.
Well, IKEA is celebrating 10 years in St. Louis. And on Saturday, the store in Midtown will be handing out random gift cards to the first 100 customers with an IKEA family membership. Those gift cards will range from $5 to $500. The doors open at 11 a.m. And it might be raining this weekend just a little bit, right, Lance?
Yeah, a little bit, not too much though. Just some isolated showers on Saturday, more scattered on Sunday. So a little bit better chance of rain then, but next chance of rain comes next Tuesday.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis at 5 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.